Welcome back, YouTube. It's GBE, and we're back with another movie review. Today, we're talking A Quiet Place. This is spoiler-free review, so if you haven't seen the movie, feel free to check it out. We're going to just jump right into it. So, as far as the plot and the story goes, what caught you from this movie?
So going into this movie, I wanted really to see, like, what are these things, the creatures, that we see in the trailers that if they hear you, they know where you are and they hunt you. But as far as that, we don't go into that at all, and it's fine. It works. All we know is that they're there, they'll kill you if they hear you, and the movie's about survival.
There really isn't a backstory for the creatures. This movie opens up 89 days after these creatures appeared. And I really like how they set up the story with this family that we follow. It's a family of four. And there's this event that happens within the first 5 minutes that really weighs them down and sets the tone for the relationship and how everything works. And really the lack of any type of dialogue increases the tension in this movie, because you really get the feel about how it is to live in silence and not being able to communicate, and how the actors have to portray everything through facial or movements and stuff like that. And I think this movie does a really good job with that. What about suspense and scary moments?
As far as, like, some people say, oh, this is the scariest movie in years, honestly, it's not overly scary. There's only, like, maybe 2 scenes I could think about that I was like, whoa, that was pretty scary. It's more suspenseful. The suspense level is all the way in the air. And there's this whole around, like, maybe 15-minute sequence where the suspense is through the roof. The whole family is separated. So many events are going on, and it's just crazy.
That's exactly my favorite part of the film, what he's talking about, because the tension and the score and everything that's happening around and the way they build to this moment, it all works really well together to deliver this awesome, suspenseful, somewhat scary scene. It's so great. Anything else that caught you from this movie?
Going back to the suspense part, I feel like the director, John
Krasinski, I think.
Krasinski, very weird last name, purposely, like, left out the creatures like whole backstory, just to give that really feel of, like, what are they, like, you're scared of them because you
the mystery of it builds the
like
story,
for a person, like, first seeing, like, a shark, they're gonna think it's like an alien or something, because it looks nothing like humans or anything. And that's, like, what it looks for these creatures. Like, we don't see them until, like, maybe the 3rd act of the movie fully. And, like, that's what makes them so mysterious and, like, eerie. And that's, really helps the tension, like, build up in this movie for me.
Exactly. I have to agree with what everything Adrian just said. The lack of backstory, the mystery behind these creatures, their weaknesses, their strengths. It just all works in conjunction with being a silent film for the most part, and all the tension and the score. And even though there's no dialogue, there's maybe about a page of dialogue. Sorry, that's a minor spoiler. Just the performances come across really well, and they really express in their facial expressions and their movements what they're feeling or what they're going through, and that just delivers for me. Even without the lack of without using many dialogue, it really just works for me.
Dialogue's the word.
Creature had my tongue there. So anything else you want to say before we close it out?
Acting. The acting's really good in this movie, because, as you said earlier, they had to express themselves through their facial features. And there's just and there's this one scene where there's not even a single word said, and it's maybe a small sequence, 1.5 minutes maybe at maximum, where we just see this character that we see once and we never see him again, but you can tell that he's going through grief, sorrow, and then his actions, it just completely, like,
it just comes across in like everything with the music, just the build up to the tension, to everything.
The whole scene. And it's one of the scenes that at first I'm like, why is that in the movie? That could have been cut out. But then really that just shows like the tension that these creatures are ruthless. They'll hunt you.
Any little sound, and that can be it for you.
Mm-hmm.
So to wrap it up, it's such a good movie. I was sitting at the
Yes.
edge of my seat the whole time, and it felt like I was actually in the movie, and I was scared to make any sound. So at times I was biting my knuckle, I was biting my lip just to keep quiet, because they really build the tension really well, and it all really works together.
Yes.
And it's an awesome movie. I really enjoyed it. How about you?
Yes. Out of 100, I would have to give A Quiet Place a pretty big 96. That's my score for the movie.
I'm gonna have to agree with
loved
you
it.
for all the things that you spoke before, and I'm gonna have to give it a 9.5, which is essentially a 95. So there you go, guys. That's a spoiler-free review of A Quiet Place. Go and check it out if you're a fan of science fiction. If you're a fan of horror, this is definitely the movie for you. So for now, this is GB saying, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and
goodbye.
And